Hi, welcome to Gizinta. This intro video is going to show you how to get Gizinta set up and to use some of the examples on your own computer. So first thing, go to the Gizinta website. In the download section you can get the Gizinta Beta. You should register here or log in. I've already logged in here. All you basically have to do once you've done that is connect here. You will need ArcGIS Desktop Standard or Advanced version 10.0 and higher to use Gizinta. Once you've got that downloaded, I've already unzipped it here. It's just a zip file that contains a couple of folders. The first one is the GZ land, which is a sample data set and a process and a set of tools based on these Gizinta XML files, which are really the heart of the configuration and setup for your own projects. The second part is the tools folder. There's a set of ArcPy tools that are in the Gizinta, and also there's a Gizinta toolbox that has a series of functions that you can use. The GZLand example uses them in a certain way, but this has all been designed to work in a general sense to help you with extracting from different sources, whether that's an enterprise geodatabase, a file geodatabase, CAD drawings, and other sources, even layer files, to transform those things, push them into your own data structure in the target data model you want to have, and then several options for loading those things. And just about everything you need to know is somewhere here in this Gizintaville example. The first thing is we put together an ArcGIS toolbox, and essentially these steps of extracting, running through the field calculator, source target QA, and eventually updating the target geodatabase is the general pattern that you'll see for any Gizinta project. What's going on here is it's actually running a Gizinta playlist. And this playlist is a pointer to all of those XML files that you quickly saw in the folder there. The first thing it does is it pulls out a tax parcel.layer file. The second thing it's going to do is some building interior space data from AutoCAD. And the final thing it's going to do is a number of data sets for Gizintaville. It's a pretty small little town, but it has most of the data sets that a small community or many communities would actually manage from a GIS standpoint. While that thing's running, we can go take a look at this in ArcMap. You can see it's running through a number of the data sets from the source. So Gizintaville, this is our small town. We've got land parcels, address points, street center lines, and a number of other data sets that are things that we put together in this example. So you'll see in some cases here we've got things for our gravity mains like diameter, material, and install date. We've got water mains with similar attributes. We've got roads that actually have from and to addresses, road names, and other things, update dates, and other things that we've actually put together as part of our local geodatabase model. In some of these cases, though, the source fields are different in the way that we have them organized than the target model, and this is typically the challenge when you want to move to ArcGIS for local government. You want to move to another data source, is your field names and your values don't exactly match the target model, and that's really what Gizinta helps with. So this run all process, now we've moved on a little bit here now, and it does a couple of different things. It was just running the QA portion of it there. So the field calculator calculates and puts things in the structure of the target data model. The QA section is now running through based on some other XML settings, and it's figuring out if you said these fields are required and they should be unique, it's double checking those. It's checking the geometries. It's making sure if you mapped values from one domain to another from a geodatabase perspective that those values actually are correct in the target model and you didn't miss anything. Some of the fields are actually optional, things that if they're there we'll take them, but and you see a number of these that are scrolling by a lot of the data sets. Because we have data from a small town and it doesn't have all the fields for the ArcGIS for local government model, which is actually the target. Now you may have noticed just a few errors went by there. Part of the setup on this is that you can use the tools in a way that will skip over errors, or in one way the process could just stop when we get to that particular point of running the QA, or we could let it keep going. So each of the tools in this toolbox will actually allow you to stop when you depending on the success of the previous activity, or it will also continue if you set it to ignore the errors. So we're just wrapping up here on the QA portion of this run. And now it's going to go into the step of replacing the rows in the target geodatabase. So basically what it's going to do here now is it's actually going to replace things like facility site, a municipal boundary, and road center line. It's going to delete the existing rows in the target data model, and it's going to add them in again from the source. So this is how we're going from the source format, or the source structure layers and CAD drawings and geodatabase feature classes in one model, and we're pushing it over to the ArcGIS for local government data model in this particular case. So that ran in a couple of minutes, and we looked earlier at the source. Now if we go back, we can look at, in this case I looked at the water utility infrastructure dashboard and added a few other things to it. Now you can see what we've got in the result here. So we've got from ArcGIS for AutoCAD and the DWG file, we've actually got the building information populated and the room numbers set up in this particular case. We've got field names and things that correspond to that data model. We've set up things like the correct values for owned by and managed by. You can see part of the process here is we've actually updated. We wouldn't have to, but we have updated the update data and that sort of thing along the way. And of course all of these things will match the ArcGIS for local government model, and all I really had to do is put these map documents or these .layer files in the same folder as my local government.gdb, and I had a ready built water infrastructure dashboard starting from my own data model, and now I've got something that works in ArcGIS for local government. So that's the heart of it. Behind the scenes there's a number of things that are going on. The playlist has this list of files that are possible, and each one of these files actually has a number of settings in it in XML, some of the QA settings, some of the ways that the fields are being mapped, and some of the calculations and other things that are actually being done inside of here. We won't cover all that in today's video, but once you're interested in doing that, you should find that it takes you probably 15 minutes or half an hour per data set to set up a pretty nice loading system for your ArcGIS for local government projects. Thanks for watching this Gizinta video, and best of luck to you.